Today for my deadlifts, I'm not really going for anything super heavy. I do want to go for another PR, pulled 510. I possibly want to go for 520, maybe 525, depending on how I feel. In 1 to 2 weeks, focusing this week on going heavier on my deficits and heavier on my rack pulls. But I'm going to keep my conventional pretty steady, not probably going over like 455, and then focus on putting a lot more weight into the deficits and the rack pulls up until I try to PR again. Now that the warm-up set's complete, we're going to go into our working sets. So set 1 for me, 315 pounds, 5 repetitions. And remember guys, we're only taking a 2 to 3 minute rest period in between each set. If you need longer time, obviously you can rest longer, but try to stay within those parameters as you perform the working sets for the deadlifts. Erica in her brightly colored uniform, Brazil.
You like my Brazil?
This is why it takes Erica 40 minutes to get ready for the gym. She has to color coordinate, make sure everything looks good and matches. Chalk it up. I'm trying my best to not use a belt until I surpass 405. So after this one, I'll probably throw my belt on. Moving on to set 2, 405 pounds, 5 repetitions. Trying to conserve my energy as I increase the weight. Working on my form, as you guys can see, I'm maintaining my neutral spine. I'm pushing through my heels. I'm resetting my core after every single repetition, and I'm trying my best to make sure I don't round my back over at all as well. And like I said, I'm not going to use my belt until after I pass 405 pounds. Felt pretty good today. Let's go up a little more. Set 3, 455 pounds, 1 rep. As you guys can see, I have my belt on now, just for a little extra core support as I pull the weight.
You could have done another one easy.
Yeah, but I'm going to go like 1 rep, 1 rep, 1 rep. Try to conserve that energy. But thanks for noticing, babe. I'm desperately waiting for my Inzer Forever belt to come in. I actually just talked to the guy I ordered it from today. He said it won't be here for another 2, maybe 3 weeks, just because I guess they're always out of stock. Inzer sells so many of these things, but I've actually gotten bigger over the last few months. Usually I sit around 173, and I'm a solid 177 now, and I feel a lot leaner, and I can tell because now this belt, where I used to normally have it on these 2 holes or these 2 holes. Now I'm doing my deadlifts with it on the last 2 holes, and I can still feel that when I contract my core, I feel like the belt is stretching. It's like it needs to be a little tighter, so it's gonna be a pain in the butt, but that's why you need to make sure you have good equipment, because if you don't, it kind of defeats the purpose of having it, but this will still work for now. Set 4, 495 pounds, 1 repetition. You guys can see I'm really working towards pulling the slack out of the bar before I attempt the rep as well. I feel my core feels loose. It really does with this belt. I think it kind of throws me off mentally, because when I go to pull and I go to lock in my core, it feels kind of loose, and it mentally kind of threw me off. I think my form was a little shaky on that one. All right, guys, moving on to set 5, 515 pounds. I wasn't gonna go for a 1 rep max on this lift, but I felt like I could have got it. I did get stuck. I managed to get the weight all the way up, but the form was obviously a little shaky. I wasn't letting it go. I don't care. Just not letting that go.
Were you deadlifting or were you breakdancing?
It was deadlift breakdance. Yeah.
Who was that?
Yeah. Some new moves I'll show you later.
Oh, man.
That was 5:15, which is a new PR, so I pretty much lied to you guys in the beginning of this video, but that's not a bad thing.
There was a seizure PR.
Somebody needs to make a compilation, like, music video of that. That'd be great. All right, now let's go work some shoulders. Now that we're done deadlifting, we're gonna go into our shoulder workout. First exercise, seated Arnold Press. We're gonna do 4 sets of 8 repetitions. Now for this exercise, guys, I want it to be a nice smooth motion as you bring the dumbbells up and down. As you can see, I'm fully extending at the top of the movement, and I'm bringing the dumbbells all the way down in front of my body. I'm not stopping halfway. I bring the dumbbells all the way down to my chest, and then I'm exploding from the bottom to the top. See how my stance is with my feet? I'm keeping my core nice and tight, so when the dumbbells get to the bottom, I can push through my feet, squeeze my core, and squeeze out those last reps that I normally probably wouldn't have gotten. So it really helps with the overall power. Yeah. The next exercise is going to be a single arm lateral raise. I'm going to have you guys do 4 sets of 8 repetitions. And I want you to do 8 reps per side. Now usually if I do this exercise with 25-pound dumbbells and I do both arms at the same time, I tend to do a bit more swinging than actually doing the exercise without swinging, without using momentum. And so I found that if I just hold the dumbbells in my hand and then work one arm at a time, I'm actually able to focus a lot better and put a lot more energy into that single arm. Another cool thing people like to do, I like to do as well, is I'll hold on to like a rack or something with my opposite arm and then kind of lean to the side and then do the exercise. But if you want to do it just standing or there's nothing for you to grab, hold both dumbbells in your hands as a counterbalance and do one arm at a time. The next exercise is going to be the Incline Dumbbell Rear Raise. Again here, 4 sets, 12 repetitions. I boost the reps up a little bit more on this one instead of doing 8. I feel like for this exercise, it's a lot easier to rely on momentum to bring the weights up and out. So just by increasing the reps to 12, we can go a little lighter on the weight and really focus on isolating our rear delts. So make sure when you do this exercise, you set up your bench so it's at like a 45-degree incline, not too high, not too low, and then really focus on each repetition, squeezing your rear delts and getting the most out of the workout. There's one important thing I want you guys to keep in mind when doing this exercise, or any time you do any version of a bent over row, bent over fly. You'll notice that my arm, I'm keeping my elbow only slightly bent, and I'm going all the way out like this. It's very different from grabbing like 35, 40, 50 pounds and doing this. That's going to engage a lot more of your back. So don't think that you're lifting heavier weight and you're getting stronger and because the guy next to you is using 15s or 10s or 20s. It's a totally different exercise. Goal is to target the rear deltoid, slight bend in your elbow, all the way up, all the way down. If you're doing rows and you want to work your back, then you can do this. Just want to make that clarification for you guys. Now the last exercise you guys are going to do is the Barbell Front Raise, 4 sets of 8 repetitions. Now for this exercise, it's really important that with each repetition, when the barbell is at the bottom, you see me adjust my shoulders, I want you to make sure you're retracting your scapula, so pulling your shoulders back, okay? That's going to be really important to this exercise to both avoid an injury and to also maximize the power when lifting the barbell. You'll also notice that I'm not thrusting my hips into the exercise. I'm taking a deep breath. As soon as I take that breath in, I'm going to flex my core and my glutes as hard as I can, and I'm going to focus on just using my arms to lift that barbell. And as you guys can see, the sticking point is pretty much right when the barbell gets to about your chin level. So it's going to take a lot of energy out of you to maintain proper form and push through that sticking point and make the most out of every single repetition in this exercise. The sticking point's like right here. Try not to sway, you know? It's good. Good set. There you go, work it, babe. If you have a girlfriend,
Time to go.
You know what that pose means in front of the mirror with the phone sideways.
It's the standard pose, like, you know, the waist looks good, shoulders back, so the arms look good, like everything's where it should be. Pose. And
now,
then relax.
Now we're gonna go home, finish up with some cardio.
Peace.
Now I know it doesn't look it, but it's actually April here in New England, so I can finally go for the first run of the season, and I'll still be surrounded by a little bit of snow, but that's just how it is. I thought it'd be really cool to start running with my weighted vest, so I got about 20-ish pounds in here right now. Go for a nice light 15 to 20 minute jog to complete today's workout. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember, go to muscularstrength.com, join our fast growing community if you guys have questions about your routine or meal plan. And as always, more good stuff coming soon. See you guys.
Got